So your car makes a weird noise. That grinding, clunking sound that you know means something expensive is about to happen. You take it to the mechanic and they hit you with it. $850 to fix. And immediately your stomach drops. Not because $850 is impossible, you make decent money, but because you don't have $850 sitting around. So now you're doing mental math. Okay, if I put it on the credit card, I can probably pay it off in 3 months. But wait, rent is due next week, and I've got that wedding gift I need to buy, and you're stressed, you're anxious, you can't focus at work because you're trying to figure out how to juggle everything. And this is just an $850 car repair. This isn't even a real emergency. And here's the thing, this cycle never ends. You're always one unexpected expense away from financial chaos, always scrambling, always stressed. But here's what I'm going to show you in this video. There's a specific dollar amount that changes everything. It's not $100,000. It's not even $50,000. It's $10,000. And when you hit that $10,000 in savings, your entire relationship with money transforms. The stress disappears. The anxiety goes away, and you finally start building real wealth. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why $10,000 is the magic number and how to get there faster than you think. My name is Max, and today I'm going to show you why $10,000 in savings is the single most important financial milestone you can hit, and how it literally changes every aspect of your financial life. So, let's get started, and please make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Okay, so let's talk about why $10,000 specifically. Why not $5,000? Why not $20,000? Here's the thing. $10,000 is enough money to handle almost any normal emergency that life throws at you without going into debt. According to the Federal Reserve's 2024 report on the economic well-being of U.S. households, the most common emergency expenses people face range from $400 to $5,000. Car repairs, medical bills, home repairs, emergency travel. Almost everything falls in that range. But here's what most people don't realize. When you have $10,000 saved, you're not just covering the typical emergencies. You're covering the combinations of emergencies. Your car breaks down and you need to go to urgent care, and your laptop dies all in the same month. With $10,000, you can handle it. You're not scrambling. You're not going into debt. You just handle it. Additionally, $10,000 represents something psychological that's even more important than the actual money. It proves to yourself that you can save. It proves that you're not destined to live paycheck to paycheck forever. According to a 2024 Bankrate survey, 56% of Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency expense from savings. 56%. So when you hit $10,000, you're in the top half of Americans in terms of financial stability. That's not nothing. But here's where it gets really interesting. $10,000 isn't just about emergencies. It's the amount that fundamentally changes how you make financial decisions. Let me explain what I mean by showing you the difference between someone with $500 in savings and someone with $10,000. Person A has $500 saved. Their car needs $850 in repairs. They don't have enough, so they put it on a credit card at 24%, APR. They make minimum payments, and that $850 repair ends up costing them $1,100 over 2 years. The stress of the debt affects their sleep, their work performance, their relationships. Person B has $10,000 saved. Their car needs $850 in repairs. They pay cash from savings. Their savings drops to $9,150. Over the next 2 months, they replenish that $850 back to savings on total cost. $850. No interest, no stress. Do you see the difference? Person A paid $250 extra just because they didn't have savings. That's what I call the broke tax. You pay more for everything when you don't have money. But here's what's even more important. Person B isn't stressed. They're not losing sleep. They're not distracted at work. They handled the problem and moved on with their life. This is the shift from survival mode to strategy mode. When you're in survival mode, every financial decision is reactive. Something happens, you scramble to deal with it. When you're in strategy mode, you handle problems calmly and get back to building wealth. The compound effects of having $10,000. Okay, so we've talked about emergencies, but here's where the $10,000 really starts to change your life. The compound effects. Effect number 1, you stop paying the broke tax. We already talked about the car repair, but this applies to everything. When you have $10,000 in savings, you can pay your insurance annually instead of monthly, saving 10 to 15% on premiums. Buy things on sale in bulk instead of paying full price when you run out. Avoid overdraft fees, late fees, and payday loans. Negotiate better deals because you can pay cash up front. According to a 2023 study by the Urban Institute, low-income households pay an average of $2,412 per year in fees and interest that wealthier households don't pay. That's $2,412 that you're throwing away just because you don't have savings. When you have $10,000, you stop paying these fees. That's $2,400 per year that stays in your pocket. Effect number 2, your credit score improves. Here's something most people don't realize. When you have savings, your credit score goes up. Why? Because you're not maxing out credit cards for emergencies. You're not missing payments because you ran out of money. You're using credit strategically, not desperately. And when your credit score improves, everything gets cheaper. Better interest rates on loans, lower insurance premiums, better rental options. A 100-point improvement in your credit score can save you $5,000 to $10,000 per year in interest and fees. Effect number 3, you can take calculated risks. This is the big one that nobody talks about. When you have $10,000 in savings, you can take risks that broke people can't. You can negotiate harder at work because you're not terrified of getting fired. You can leave a toxic job for a better opportunity. You can invest in yourself, take a course, get a certification, start a side business. And I've seen this happen over and over. Someone hits $10,000 in savings, and within 6 months, they've made a career move that increases their income by $10,000 to $20,000 per year. Not because the savings itself made them richer, but because the savings gave them the confidence and flexibility to make moves they couldn't make before. Okay, let's talk about the psychological shift that happens when you hit $10,000, because this is just as important as the financial shift. Here's what most people don't realize. Financial stress literally makes you dumber. A famous study by Princeton researchers Senthil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir found that financial stress reduces cognitive capacity by about 13 IQ points. 13 points. That's the difference between average and above average. When you're worried about money constantly, when you're doing mental math about whether you can afford groceries this week, your brain doesn't have the capacity for anything else. You can't focus at work. You can't be creative. You can't plan for the future. But when you have $10,000 in savings, that stress evaporates. You stop doing the mental math. You stop panicking every time an unexpected expense comes up. And suddenly you have mental energy for other things. And also, there's something powerful that happens psychologically when you see that $10,000 number in your account. It proves to you that you're capable of saving. It proves that you're not destined to be broke forever. According to behavioral economists, hitting a major financial milestone creates what they call a self-efficacy loop. You accomplish something hard, saving $10,000, which makes you believe you can accomplish other hard things, which makes you actually accomplish them. It's a positive feedback loop, seriously. I've talked to hundreds of people who've hit $10,000 in savings, and almost everyone says the same thing. Once I hit $10,000, saving the next $10,000 was way easier because you've proven to yourself that you can do it. How to get to $10,000, the actual plan. Okay, so you're convinced that $10,000 is the magic number. Now here's the part you actually care about. How do you actually get there? And now, you might be thinking, Max, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. There's no way I can save $10,000. Look, I get it. But here's the thing. Most people who are living paycheck to paycheck aren't there because they don't make enough money. They're there because they don't have a system. So here's the system. Step 1, set the target timeline. $10,000 sounds overwhelming, so break it down. If you save $400 per month, you'll have $10,000 in 25 months, just over 2 years. If you can save $500 per month, you'll hit it in 20 months. If you can do $800 per month, you're there in 12.5 months. Pick a timeline that's aggressive but realistic for you. Write it down. Put it somewhere you'll see it every day. Step 2. Find the money. But Max, I don't have an extra $400 to $800 per month. Okay, let's find it. Here's where most people have money hiding. Subscriptions you don't use. Average person has $273 per month in subscriptions, according to a 2024 C+R research study. Cancel half of them. That's $135 in eating out. Average American spends $300 plus per month eating out. Cut that in half. That's $150. Impulse purchases. Track your spending for 2 weeks. I guarantee you'll find $100 to $200 per month in stuff you bought without thinking. That's $385 to $485 per month right there. And you haven't even gotten a side hustle or asked for a raise yet. Step 3. Automate everything. Here's the secret. You cannot rely on willpower to save. Willpower fails. Automation doesn't. The day after you get paid, set up an automatic transfer from checking to savings. You want this to happen before you have a chance to spend the money. If you get paid on the 15th, the transfer happens on the 16th. And here's the key. Make it a separate savings account at a different bank. Not just a different account at the same bank. A totally different bank. Why? Because you want just enough friction that you don't impulsively transfer money back. It should take 2 to 3 days to move money from your savings bank to your checking bank. I recommend high-yield savings accounts like Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Ally Bank, or American Express Personal Savings. They pay 4 to 5% interest, which means your money is actually growing while you save. Step 4, track your progress publicly. This might sound weird, but it works. Put a tracker somewhere visible. Some people use a thermometer-style chart on their fridge. Some people update a spreadsheet every week. Some people post updates on social media. Why does this work? Because it creates accountability and keeps the goal top of mind. Every time you see that tracker, you're reminded of what you're working toward. Step 5, celebrate milestones. Here's where most people mess up. They treat saving like punishment. They deprive themselves for months. They hit $10,000 and then they immediately blow it all because they've been so restrictive. Don't do that. Celebrate milestones along the way. Hit $2,500. Take yourself out for a nice dinner. Hit $5,000. Buy something you've been wanting, within reason, like $100, not $1,000. Hit $7,500. Take a day trip somewhere. These celebrations keep you motivated and prevent the screw it moment where you give up because saving feels like torture. Okay, so let's say you follow this plan and you hit $10,000 in savings. Now what? Here's where it gets really interesting. $10,000 is not the finish line. It's the starting line. Once you have $10,000, here's what you do. Keep $10,000 as your emergency fund. That money is sacred. You don't touch it unless it's an actual emergency. And no, a sale at your favorite store is not an emergency. Start building your next $10,000. But this time, you're not putting it in a savings account. You're investing it. Here's why. A savings account paying 4 to 5% interest is great for your emergency fund. But for wealth building, you want to invest in index funds that historically return 10% per year on average. So your financial structure becomes $10,000 in a high-yield savings account. Emergency fund. Don't touch. Everything beyond $10,000 goes into investments, index funds, retirement accounts, etc. And here's what happens. While your emergency fund sits there protecting you from life's curveballs, your investments are compounding and actually building wealth. Let's do the math. If you continue saving $500 per month after hitting your $10,000 emergency fund, and you invest it in index funds earning 10% per year, after 10 years you'll have about $102,000. After 20 years, over $380,000. That's how $10,000 in savings becomes generational wealth. You hit the emergency fund, then you shift to investing, and you let compound interest do the heavy lifting. Here's what I want you to understand. The difference between people who have financial stability and people who don't isn't intelligence. It's not even income. It's mindset and systems. People who have $10,000 saved aren't superhuman. They just decided that financial stability was non-negotiable and they built a system to get there. And look, I'm not going to lie to you and say it's easy. Saving $10,000 when you're starting from zero requires discipline. It requires saying no to things you want. It requires short-term sacrifice. But here's the thing. You're already sacrificing. You're sacrificing your peace of mind. You're sacrificing your sleep. You're sacrificing your ability to take opportunities. You're sacrificing your future. So the question isn't whether you're going to sacrifice. The question is what you're sacrificing for. Are you sacrificing your future for temporary comfort? Or are you sacrificing temporary comfort for a future where you have options, stability, and wealth? All right, here's what I want you to do right now. And I mean right now, before you click away from this video. First, open your banking app and check your current savings balance. Write that number down. That's your starting point. Second, calculate how much you need to save per month to hit $10,000 in 18 months. For most people, that's going to be $400 to $600 per month, depending on where you're starting. Third, set up an automatic transfer. I don't care if it's only $50 per week to start. Set it up right now. You can always increase it later, but you need to start the automation today. Fourth, put a tracker somewhere you'll see it every single day. Your bathroom mirror, your fridge, your phone wallpaper. Somewhere that reminds you what you're working toward. And here's what's going to happen. 3 months from now, you're going to have $1,200 to $1,800 saved, maybe more. You're going to feel different, less stressed, more in control. 6 months from now, you're going to have $2,400 to $3,600 saved. You're going to start making different financial decisions. You're going to negotiate harder. You're going to take smarter risks. 12 months from now, you're going to have $4,800 to $7,200 saved. You're going to be over halfway there, and you're going to realize that $10,000 isn't some impossible fantasy. It's a target you're actually going to hit. In 18 months from now, you're going to have $10,000 in savings, and your life is going to be completely different. Look, here's the truth. $10,000 isn't going to make you rich. It's not going to change your life overnight. It's not going to solve every problem, but it's going to do something more important. It's going to give you options. It's going to give you breathing room. It's going to give you the foundation to actually start building wealth. Because here's what most people don't realize. You can't build wealth when you're constantly in survival mode. You can't invest for the future when you're scrambling to cover today. You can't take the risks that lead to big rewards when you're terrified of small setbacks. $10,000 in savings is what gets you out of survival mode and into strategy mode. It's what transforms you from someone who reacts to life to someone who controls their life. And yeah, it's going to take work. It's going to take discipline. It's going to require sacrifices. But 18 months of intentional saving is going to give you decades of financial stability. That's the trade. And it's the best trade you'll ever make. So start today, not tomorrow, not Monday, not next month, today. If this video gave you the motivation you needed to finally start building that $10,000, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment and tell me your current savings and your target date to hit $10,000. I read every comment and I want to cheer you on. And remember, you're 18 months away from a completely different financial life. The only question is whether you're going to start the journey today. I'll see you in the next video.